discrimination and violence, it is our priority, Honorable Speaker, to empower the communities by creating awareness in our villages to all men and women through our village elders, through the Council of Elders, by shaping the perceptions. Because most of the areas that we are having issues of gender-based violence are areas where we have issues like female genital mutilation, early marriages, dropouts of school.
Chair, maybe on a point of order, maybe the nominee did not really get what the Michu was asking. There are so many cases even of femicide. You must have seen the case in Kware here in Embakasi, where the target were basically young women and largely younger women. You've seen the one in Ruiru, you saw the one in Roysambu, the cases in around the Airbnb space where young girls are being enticed to come into apartments and they end up getting hurt, some getting killed. Would want to hear what are your thoughts on what, as a minister in charge of gender and also culture, what you would do to inculcate values in our young children and our young girls and young women on how they need to carry themselves in society. How do you avoid such things? That's what we would want to hear, your vision of how you would want to carry out that kind of work to make sure that nobody is taking advantage of young women in this country to go and harm or kill them.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to appreciate the member for making interventions. And I want to say this, Honorable Chair. The recent cases of femicides is an area that really needs research and documentation because it is happening at different areas and it is perpetuated by different persons. So issues of mental health is one area that research needs to be done. Issues of empowerment, issues of counseling of young people, and issues of family challenges that could be witnessed by, that could be happening or being experienced by members of our community. So, Honorable Chair, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to, given an opportunity, I would wish to strengthen the investigative arm of the police, where we are having gender desk cases being reported, so that cases of femicide or cases of gender-based violence can be dealt with, and also strengthen the role of the Witness Protection Agency, because this is a very gray area where we could even be having people who know what could have happened, but since there is no strong protection system for witnesses, it can also be a challenge to get investigation and get to the root of the matter in cases of femicide.
You should also respond to the question from Robert Mbui was on the arts and the creative space, and his question was very simple. If you get favor and you become the cabinet secretary, what will you do to support, promote, and protect our artists? Isn't that your question, Robert? Or who asked that? Oh, that was Owen Bayer. You haven't answered that, to the best of my understanding. There is also a question from Mishimboga about patenting our heritage products like ushanga like Kyondo and so on. If you find favor again, what will you do to protect our local innovations that reflect our culture? Mishi, that was your question as well?
Yes, that was my question.
Yes.
And maybe, Speaker, you will give me time. Just
Let
maybe
her
to,
answer those first.
it is on the same perspective, the one which I asked about when the cases have been taken to the police, because that is the first station. You report the cases of GBV.
She said she'll strengthen police investigations.
No, I just want to say something very crucial,
Yes.
which has just happened recently. You know, I cannot see properly, but just recently our CG Kome had opened two courts at Siaya and Kisumu, and specifically for gender-based violence. And he also instructed that we need to have specialized police officers who are going to be fast-tracking some cases of GBV. So I just wanted to put that information.
There is already a police policy that if a young girl who has been brutalized goes to the police station, her report and statement is recorded by a female police officer and not a male police officer. But
Gender desks.
go on and answer those questions. I'm not the nominee.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for repeating the question again. And in every police station, under the gender mainstreaming program, we have gender desks where all cases of gender-based violence are reported. And they are picked up from there by the prosecutors. And if there are any witnesses that needs to be protected for purposes of successful prosecution of cases, they are referred to the Witness Protection Agency for protection to ensure that there is successful prosecution of the perpetrators of the crime. So the biggest challenge that we have had in the past is most of the gender desks are manned by women. So when we have cases of men, it becomes a challenge. So if I succeed to become the cabinet secretary for the same department, I will endeavor to ensure that the gender is mainstream in this desk so that we don't have only women. We also have
Men have no issues. There are enough male police in police stations to deal with the cases. So those ones are not a big problem, nominee. You can go to the next on support, promotion, and protection of artists.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On protection of the performing artist, we have the Kenya Copyright Board, whose role is to protect and facilitate issues of the copyright and protecting our artists from pirates, and also to ensure that they get what they are entitled through payment of royalties. On issues of promotion, Honorable Speaker, under the Kenya Cultural Center, we have an arrangement where all performing artists are facilitated through mentorship programs, through provision of the required equipments under the National Theatre, where they can be able to practice, and also they can be exposed to markets locally and internationally. There was also another question on issues of communities where we have performing artists and the need to commercialize their activities, if I got it right. So, Honorable Speaker, this is an item that really need additional strengthening so that in every county we have a cultural center where all the communities can be able to bring up their artifacts and can be able to share and can be able to exhibit to visitors, whether they are local visitors or visitors who are coming from foreign countries, and they can be able to earn a living and also preserve the artifacts and also preserve the cultural and historical sites. Thank you, Mr.
A matter
Speaker.
of interest, nominee, how many, apart from Gedi ruins, how many other World Heritage sites do we have in Kenya?
Currently, we have eight sites. The eighth one was just registered this year. That is, the Gedi ruins was the additional we had from the 7 that we had in the past.
Which are those?
We have the Fort Jesus, we have the Kaya Forest, we have the lakes in the 4 lakes in the Great Rift Valley. We also have a site in Kisumu called at Touch Ohinga. Touch Ohinga site.
Okay, thank you. Members? Russell?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'll just ask one quick question. Madam Soy, my question is on museums. You know, museums is about our history, our culture, our heritage. But over the years, there have been very little investment or movement towards preserving the museums. If you are favored with this appointment, what are you going to do about the museums? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Can you respond?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. About the museums and the monuments, this is the main focus of the Kenya Kwanza administration, and it is actually scheduled that all the artifacts that were taken away from this country are going to be brought back to the National Museum. And plans are already underway to strengthen the role of the museums in championing the repatriation of our stolen artifacts. And Honorable Speaker, the museum and the Kenya National Museum is a priority agency under the State Department in terms of even the provision of a budgetary provision so that it is able to run its activities. So it is in the interest of the nation that the Kenya Museum has been reformed so that we continue attracting tourists who are visiting the country to be able to enjoy the preserved national heritage and artifacts that we have in our National Museum, including the documentation of our history as a country. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Owen?
Quick one. Sorry, I know I'm taking away time, but I want to say this if you allow me. If you go to Vatican today, there are hordes of people. You don't even find space. They just come to see 1 or 2 artifacts, you know. You go to a lot of these countries out there, it is what drives tourism, you know. But in this country, the National Museum here, I don't know whether you've checked the numbers. The cradle of mankind is here in Kenya. The Gedi ruins is actually abandoned. It's almost dead, you know, though it has gotten UNESCO. Lamu is rich in heritage. It's actually it's a UNESCO thing. The Kaya forests, they're almost becoming extinct. We would like to hear your vision, apart from just telling us what they are. What is your vision in tying tourism, numbers, revenue generation, and museums in this country should not continue to get money from exchequer. They should generate resources. But they are not doing that. The Jumba ruins in Mtwapa is one of those big things that people used to come to. But now all the land is gone. It is grabbed. It's only the skeleton that is remaining there. Old Town in Mombasa would be the place, Fort Jesus would be the place that would drive the tourism in Mombasa. And the revenues that would be coming in would be big. But we haven't, Vasco da Gama and Malindi, we haven't had your vision. We would like to hear, what is your vision to drive the national heritage, the culture, in bringing in income? Because that's what Kenya Kwanza is about, generating income through the heritage that we have. We haven't seen that. Ms. Soy, kindly let us know what you think. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the member for really bringing out what needs to be done in the Department of Culture and National Heritage. Honorable Speaker, Vatican has been mentioned, and issues of perception and marketing is a very big issue in our country in terms of selling our country. Branding the country is a very big issue, and I would want to say, Honorable Speaker, I think we need to do more. I want to share this very exciting news that this country has received an opportunity, an international opportunity for our president to profile the country in terms of our culture and our national heritage in a national annual event in Germany. And this is an opportunity to brand ourselves. This is an opportunity to sell our country, to expose what we have in terms of our rich heritage, our food, our language, and our artifacts, and everything that relates to our culture. Honorable Chair, I believe this will be a launching pad for this administration so that we can have a replica of the same with other countries, so that we can market our country and market our people and the rich heritage that we have as a country. So, Honorable Speaker, I just want to mention something also about the communities. Before we go outside to market ourselves, we also need to sensitize our communities so that every community can have a cultural center. They can bring their artifacts and all issues related to their heritage, the rich language, and also can be documented, so that in the future, when our parents and our great-grandparents are not there to explain the rich heritage and the culture that we had, it can be accessed in a digital platform. Honorable Speaker, when you visit other countries, you find areas of cultural sites are being developed in a way that the sites are preserved and we reduce unregulated visits so that the environment where our sites are can be preserved for future, and also so that we can continuously commercialize our heritage for ourselves and for posterity, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, nominee. I think, members, I want to bring this to an end. I'll just ask you one last question on behalf of this committee. If you find favor, and I already asked you this, we have had ministries in charge of this docket since independence. If you find favor and you become the minister